What's good, yo? What's good? Mike Sears, Speak Your Clout podcast. Been the Boys representatives. And today, I'll be celebrating the 22-year anniversary of a classic hip hop album, of a record that I truly believe doesn't get the full respect it deserves. I'm talking about Big Punisher, Capital Punishment, man. Big Pun, Bronx, New York legend, hip hop legend. Terror Squad, fucking the first Latino rap artist to go platinum, solo rap artist that is. Man, this album means a lot to me. It's definitely in my top 10 albums of all time. It's a fucking masterpiece. I bought this album when it first dropped. I was in the building. I was outside when this came out, like niggas like to say nowadays, you know what I mean? This album right here is a fucking milestone in hip hop, in my opinion. It's from an era where hip hop was just incredible. You know what I mean? Classics being released from every region imaginable. You know, 1998, man, one of my favorite years in rap. Period. This is in my top three albums of 1998. It's without a shadow of a doubt. My top three albums of 1998 is Outkast Aquemini, Gangstar Moment of Truth, and Big Pun Capital Punishment. This I reviewed this album a few years back with my co-host Marvelarity One. Shout out to my brother Steve, and we did a exceptional job on this record, man. We broke down every track. So today isn't necessarily a review. I'm kind of doing like I did on Saturday when Mobb Deep the Infamous celebrated its 25-year anniversary, and both of those albums, Infamous and Capital Punishment, were released on my favorite rap label of all time, that being Loud Records. Now, my introduction to Big Pun, man, I'll never forget this. I listened to Fat Joe Jealous One's Envy in 1995, man. I remember because my uncle had the cassette, so Pun is on that album, right? He was on that album. But when I heard Pun again, I didn't match the two voices, you know what I mean? I just remember it being a feature from some dude. You know what I mean? I was about 10, 11 years old when I heard that for the first time. Jealous One's Envy, right? So when I heard Pun again, it was 1997. My boy Ray. No, my bad. It was 98 because I was in the sixth grade at this time. So it was 1998, and my boy Ray, my best friend, um, he had the soul in the whole soundtrack, right? And I heard "You Ain't a Killer," and I was blown away. Just the chorus, the fucking wordplay, the structure of that record was incredible. You know, the punches and the fucking, just the whole bravado of that track was dope as fuck. And I love that whole song, the whole soundtrack. That album is amazing. You know, the Wu Tang All Stars song, that crazy DJ Premier song, was it Against the Grain with Sauce Money? Fucking fire ass MOP track on there. Now, granted, I haven't sat down with that soundtrack in years, so I kind of am foggy with album titles. I need to get a hard copy of that too. That shit goes for some fucking bread, unfortunately. But Doing a Killer was on there, and I heard that, and I was like, oh my goodness, this shit is fire, right? Now, fast forward a couple of months later, man, I was doing chores. I did a lot of chores when I was living with my moms and shit because I wanted to get hip hop CDs, cassettes, you know what I mean? So I was doing the dishes, man, and the radio was on. My grandmother had this big ass stereo in my living room, and this is the first time I ever got into hip hop was because of that stereo. My uncle played Public Enemy, Yo Bum Rush the Show, and he played "You're Gonna Get Yours" and the whole motherfucking floor shook. I'll never forget that. Okay, so that same stereo had the radio on. Hot 106. It's a New England station. All my, people from Boston, the Rhode Island areas, what I mean, Massachusetts in general, they know what I'm talking about. Hot 106. And they were playing Still Not a Player. Everyone knows Still Not a Player, right? So this was fairly new. It just came out. Fuck fairly new. It just came out. Because this came out April 98. I got this summer 98. A couple, months late from getting Capital Punishment, but I got it when it was new. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I heard Still Not a Player, and I instantly matched the voices. I instantly matched the voices. I was like, that's dude from that You Ain't a Killer track off the Soul and the Whole soundtrack, but it's more upbeat track this time, right? And I like Still Not a Player quite a bit. And I fucking, on my usual, when I got paid, well, not paid, but when I got the allowance, I fucking went to Record Town, now known as FYE, if FYE still exists, and I got the Capital Punishment album on cassette. And I was just fucking blown away. Blown away by this album, you know? And that, around this time when I got that, the Twins Deep Cover 98 video was out. And I watched that video religiously. I swear to God, I watched this video religiously. And I didn't see it on Rap City first. There was this station, or like, MTV. There was this station. I always talk about it on podcasts and stuff, but I can't even, for the life of me, I can't remember the station. I talked with my uncle a lot too. We can't even remember the name of the station, but they played these videos nonstop. Gangstar, You Know My Steez. Exhibit, What You See Is What You Get. Fucking Jail Felony, What You Gonna Do. Cannabis Second Round Knockout. Cameron Horse and Carriage. Noriega, fucking Super Thug. All that shit from 98. They played that religiously. And in that playlist was always Twins Deep Cover 98. And fucking, man. This is the height of my pun fandom. Like, I played that pun tape so much, on my Walkman. This is the same era when I was getting CDs. I still had CDs, but I still got cassettes because sometimes I wanted to get other things, you know what I mean? If I had $20 for a good allowance, what am I that gets you one CD, you know what I mean? So I got the CD shortly after that as well, and I had the CD and cassette, played it religiously. Like, this album means the world to me. Like, before this, Fat Joe was letting Big Pun freestyle at his concerts. He was in that LL Cool J I Shot Your video, the remix, when Fat Joe had that ill verse. You can see Pun in the background. He was featured on the Flesh and Bone album that came out like in 96. I don't even remember that. You know what I mean? Because I didn't hear that album until like a little later, I believe. But yeah, man, Capital Punishment hit the scene and fit right into my rotation. I was a big No Limit Records fan at the time. No Limit is completely different from Big Pun, but I'm just saying that was in rotation for me. Capone Noriega, The War Report, the self-titled Nori album. I was still bumping Tupac, um, Mobb Deep, you know what I mean? Fucking Hell on Earth and the Infamous. Fucking, yeah, man. And this fit right in the rotation of that Gangsta Moment of Truth. That came out like the same time frame of this record, and yeah, Capital Punishment is just a phenomenal album. Now, kind of like what I did with Mobb Deep, the Infamous, instead of giving top 3 tracks, I'm giving my top 5 tracks for Capital Punishment. Now, hands down, my favorite track on this album is easily You Ain't a Killer, because that's what got me into like pun. You know what I mean? That song is fucking nuts. You know, you know. Just, it ain't where you're from, it's where you got. Feel me? Like, so fucking ill. Uh Second track, easily, Twins Deep Cover 98. You know, sampling Dr. Dre's iconic fucking deep cover track that introduced the world to Snoop Doggy Dogg at the time in 1992, or 91. I forgot what year the deep cover soundtrack came out. I'm pretty sure it's 91, 92, somewhere in there. But yeah, that shit's amazing. And I like that. I like Twins Deep Cover 98 better than the original. Yes, I do. Just fucking Pun and Joe going back and forth. And the iconic Dead in the Middle of Little Italy. Little did we know that we riddled the middleman that didn't do diddly. Like, what the fuck? Amazing. Like, that shit is nuts. You know, Fat Joe caught a body in there. Creep with me as I cruise in my Beamer. All the kids in the ghetto call me Don Cartagena. Like, man, that Twins Do Cover 98 is so amazing. I can recite the whole shit. But that's my second favorite track in there. My third favorite track on here is Beware. Samples Shook Ones Part 1, Gave You Fair Warning, Beware, Fire. Absolute fucking heat. Juju from the Beatnuts, blessed Pun with that amazing track. You know what I mean? Then next, it would have to be, so what I say? I said, You Ain't a Killer, Twins Deep Cover 98, fucking Beware. Of course I gotta put that Trez Leeches, that Tribal Trilogy with Prodigy and Inspector Deck. That joint is nuts. Resurrected did that. RZA did that. You know what I mean? Shit is crazy. Illest verse on there, I would have to say Deck probably, man. It's hard to pick. But Pun and Prodigy came correct as well. Then my last track, I would have to say Fast Money. Fast Money is a fucking tale of just, robbing a bank and shit like that. I think it is. And just a big shootout happens. And oh my god, Fast Money is nuts. Pun killed that shit, you know? So yeah, man, I would say fucking You Ain't a Killer, Twins Deep Cover 98, fucking Beware, Trez Leach is the Tribal Trilogy, and Fast Money. Super lyrical with Black Thought as well. That track is nuts, but they wouldn't make my top five, even though I worship that track. Like Pun went toe to toe with a lyrical genius. Black Thought's known for just slaying niggas on the mic, and Pun went toe to toe with him, man. Yeah, this album is just flawless. Uh, People say it's too many skits on the album. I don't think so at all. There's about 6 to 7 skits on here out of a 24 track album. It could be worse. It could be 10 to 12 skits out of a 24 track album. You know what I mean? And it doesn't bother me. The skits are hilarious. They meld right in with the fucking record. You know what I mean? And this album is a bona fide classic. I love the album cover, Pun with the goggles and shit like that, just staring. Shout out to Danny Hastings for photographing that. I want to get the UK pressing of the CD. It has Pun holding this bitch's tits. This Latina. He's holding her tits, and it's like she's like the Statue of Liberty, and Pun's behind her. I think that shit is fly, you know. But yeah, Capital Punishment. Happy 22 years. A masterpiece of an album. Rest in peace, Big Pun. Uh, Heart attack at age 28. Fucking terrible. I wish he took care of himself better. Me being a fat motherfucker, I take care of myself, starting doing that better. You know what I mean? Because it's a real thing. You know what I mean? You gotta just, your body is a temple. You want to live healthy. You know what I mean? And it hurts that Pun ain't here no more. Because this dude, he could have had an amazing career. His second album could have been flawless. Like, yeah, baby. That album just put together rushingly by Fat Joe. I wish it would have he would have finished the record, you know what I mean, and gave us another masterpiece. Because I have a feeling he was in the right health, the right frame of mind, the right fucking, you know, time frame. Punk could have gave us a fucking another album for the books to be a classic, you know what I mean? But Capital Punishment don't get the same respect that other records do, you know. For me personally, this is in the same breath as Nas Illmatic, Wu-Tang Clan, Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers, fucking all those albums that people praise. You Ready to Die from Notorious B.I.G. This is up there with it, and it's not because he's fucking dead. It's because the album is amazing to me. It's a fucking flawless album. I love every single track on here. If there was an annoying thing about Capital Punishment, it ain't even the album itself. It's just that all these motherfuckers, especially fucking females, all they know is Still Not a Player. That's all they fucking know. Pun has so many greater tracks than that. You know what I mean? Like, other than Still Not a Player, this album is just hardcore boom bap gangsta rap music. If you think about it. You know what I mean? It really is. Other than Still Not a Player, it's hardcore East Coast boom bap gangsta shit, gutter shit. You know what I mean? That's all it is, really, if you think about it. And it's fucking a 5 mic album. This is 5 mics for me, yo. 5 mics. So with that being said, fucking happy 22-year anniversary to Big Pun's magnum opus, Capital Punishment. Fucking amazing album. I can listen to it fucking front to back. It's brilliant. 5 mics for me, man. So I don't want to make a habit out of this, just do like celebrations for my favorite albums because it gets kind of redundant. You know what I mean? Just for the ones I really, really love. I want to do. I don't know if the other fellas will be down for it, but if not, I'll just do it dolo. My top 50 favorite hip hop albums of all time. And then I want to do like I'm gonna get people into the other genres I'm in. So I'll do my top 50 um metal/rock albums of all time. You know what I mean? I'm really gonna do that. It'll be in 2 parts. I will be on camera because I want to showcase the CDs and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for that, man. I'm gonna announce that on Instagram and Twitter and all that later on today. So yeah, this stupid Windows shit popped up. But yeah, Capital Punishment, 22 years today. Happy anniversary to this masterpiece. And I will see you motherfuckers on the flip side. Be on the lookout for more refreshing content. And I'm off this bitch. Peace.